Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area. It is Wednesday, and Kyle Shanahan gave us his pre-practice injury report. And there is one new person on there, and it is Deommodore Lenoir with a quad injury. He did injure it in the game, so he did not practice Wednesday. Also not practicing Bryce Huff and Jake Brendel, who both had hamstring injuries from the game. Good news is, though, I did see them on the side field doing work with trainers. So that indicates it's not going to be one of those crazy, really, really bad hamstring tears like George Kittle. It looks like to be like 2, maybe 3 weeks for those hamstring injuries, but that's Bryce Huff, defensive end, who had one of his best games, and Jake Brendel, center. Also, still not practicing Yetur Gross-Matos with a hamstring injury. That's been a little while. I think he's making his way back, though. Ricky Pearsall, his knee is not healing as fast as they thought it might. No setbacks, though, is what Kyle Shanahan said. Also, Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, both with rest days. Limited at practice. Brock Purdy with his toe injury. Bernardo Green with his toe injury. Spencer Burford, the practice window open, so he's limited with the knee injury, but he's making his way back. And then Upton Stout out there, ankle injury. I do think that Deommodore Lenoir will play on Sunday. He was working on the side field, running and whatnot, but not practicing today. So all of that is to say, I think Mac Jones gets his sixth start this week in Houston. That's where they play. Houston, man, just a tough game in Seattle. Their offense is not great, but their defense is. So it's going to be a challenge for Kyle Shanahan to scheme up against D'Amico Ryans. And it's going to be Mac Jones. And it's going to be Kendrick Bourne out there again. And of course, Christian McCaffrey with George Kittle. Christian McCaffrey, NFC offensive player of the week. Odd that he's only gotten that award 3 times. We spoke to him in the locker room today, and he said, you know what? Hey, it's cool, but moving on. It is week 8 now, not thinking about it. I appreciate it. Obviously, love the recognition and appreciate it, but really can't think about it much now. They are on to Houston. It is already Wednesday, and they're in game prep mode for Houston, and it's going to be a tough challenge. The Houston Texans, the strength of their team is their defense. And so the 49ers are going to have to scheme up against that, which could be a challenge. So I do think Deommodore Lenoir plays. I think it's going to be Mac Jones starting. And you'll see again, Kendrick Bourne, Juwan Jennings is getting healthier. I think that also helps the run game along with George Kittle. George Kittle, we didn't talk to him on Wednesday. He is going to speak to media on Thursday. But I would think, looking at the way he was practicing out on the field, that he'll be fine for this next week as well. So coming back from that hamstring injury, he wanted to make sure he wasn't an idiot. And that's what he said, to make sure he was coming back on time and not getting hurt further. So from what we can tell, he came out of the game feeling pretty good, and he'll be back on the field in Houston on Sunday. As far as Upton Stout, he was close to playing on Sunday. He was out on the field with the medical staff doing kind of jumps back and forth. I think he could come back by Sunday. Chase Lucas, though, did a great job in his stead. And, either way they go, I think the 49ers will have a good nickel back in there. One thing that's good about all of these young guys getting more reps and getting playing time is that they're getting more experience. So as they go forward, as they're more needed on the field for the 49ers, they're just going to get better and better. And I think part of that you're already seeing with Tatum Bethune having another week of preparation and practice to go out there and be, the middle linebacker for the team. I think it's, he's going to just keep getting better. And same with D Winters out there with him. Young guys out there in Marquis Siegel. Malik Mustafa probably will get even more snaps. He's getting his snap count raised every week from coming back from that ACL injury. And so I do think that he, again, could be out there 100% of the snaps this week in Houston, potentially. I'm sure they're going to see how it goes, but I think that's definitely a possibility for him. Had a chance to sit down with Eddie Pinheiro, who I know is a fan favorite at this point. He has made 17 of 17, perfect field goal record since joining the 49ers. He is responsible for 60 points, which is pretty impressive. I asked Kyle Shanahan, what do you think about his energy and his style? And he's like, definitely different for a kicker, But hey, if you can make kicks, everybody's going to love you. And if you make kicks and you have that energy as well, it's even better. So sit down with Eddie Pinheiro. That'll be on 49ers Talk. So definitely check that out. It'll be also on the NBC Sports YouTube page. So I'll have that as well. Yeah, so we talked to Kendrick Bourne as well, who is really, so much more mature than he was when he was here the first time. And he got to see Bill Belichick at the Cal game and said he got to chat with him and said, he's responsible for a lot of his maturation process. I think the fact that when he went to the Patriots, he had to learn their way. And not that Kendrick Bourne is um, has lost his personality because he is still just, I mean, I'll post a video in a bit that, he's just so still energetic and excited to be on the field playing football. But just the fact that he's more responsible now. And that's exactly what George Kittle said. He's way more responsible and married. Um, so just yeah, Christian McCaffrey today, Eddie Pinheiro, and Kendrick Bourne. So fun stuff today in the locker room. They are happy and excited after winning their fifth game on Sunday in front of the whole world on Sunday Night Football. Big challenge ahead, though. D'Amico Ryans and that Houston Texans defense. Um, it might be a good situation for the 49ers defense to not play a top tier offense at this point. I think it's only going to raise their confidence. So, CJ Stroud looked really, really good in his rookie year. And since then, it's kind of been a little bit of ups and downs. And I think, if this 49ers defense can get a really, really solid game over the offense, I think it's going to set them up in the future for the rest of the season. They're going to keep building on success, which is only good for them, this young group. So, looking like they'll be without, obviously, Bryce Huff. They did make a couple roster moves. Robert Beal has been activated to the active 53. Trevis Gibson was released, but he was in the locker room and they placed him back on the practice squad. So he is still with the team. And then, obviously, like I said before, Spencer Burford's window open. So that is the news for Wednesday. George Kittle is going to talk on Thursday. We'll also talk to Mac Jones, who is always fun to talk to at the podium. He did look like he was moving better after the game, and he's like, "Thank you, appreciate it." So, always fun stuff from Mac Jones. That'll be tomorrow on Thursday. Drop in the comments if you have any questions for me, if you'd like to hear any from any other players. But that's it for Wednesday. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.